My video cut out because it said that it was at the max file, so I'm going to continue on here, and then I'm going to continue to do group 3. So the ending message for group 2, because I was honestly done, is basically saying recognize what you feel and foster that. But again, the whole don't cheating thing resonates as well. Just be careful with your friendships, with your relationships, and your alliances. Be very responsible about this. That is what the message of the King of Cups is directly saying to you. Alright, so for group 3, if you picked Amethyst, you got Strength, the Knight of Wands, the Magician, the Seven of Cups for while you're struggling, the Lenormand, Mountain, Letter, Sun. The card to be read for advice is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this, like always, I'm going to go through each card and in each group, and I'll tell you what it specifically means for each thing. Okay, so for group 1, Major Arcana Strength represents inner personal strength, overcoming obstacles, your inner demons, your anxieties, your fears. The Knight of Wands represents an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Doesn't have to be an actual person, but this person would be somebody that likes to take on everything all at once, and they can they are the yes men of the whole entire tarot deck. They like to say yes to absolutely everything, and they take on way too much when they do this. They actually take on all these struggles all at once. But they love to pursue people, they love to pursue new things, they love to pursue everything all at once, and they take and they take and they take. And the problem with the Knight of Wands is that they don't know how to put things on the back burner, where if you were to put things on the back burner, you could salvage things from being pushed over when you have a new obsession of something. But you don't. You have the risk of burning things because they get too hot too fast, or you just drop them by accident. It's not something that you're doing on purpose, but this is the mindset of the Knight of Wands. The Magician is the major arcana for yourself and your alchemy. This card is the Manifestor card. It is the first card that comes after the Fool, and the Fool is specifically in tarot. The reason why it exists is because it's you. It means everybody else in the world. The Fool is the indicator of the self, and his journey through the tarot is why he has this answer to something that he's trying to find. The Magician is the first card on that journey that he encounters, and it's kind of that card. It's that feeling when you have a new job or a new relationship. You think, oh my god, I have this new thing, and it could go in any direction possible. I could get married to this person, or this could be my dream job. I could get famous doing this. It's that potential, but you have the ability to wield this. There's a lot of things with the Seven of Cups that are in your head. There's a lot of probabilities. The Seven of Cups is having a lot of options and not really knowing which one to take for sure. The Seven of Cups it's a card of daydreaming, and it's saying, well, if you want to actually pursue these things instead of just thinking of all the things that could happen or go wrong or that you could do differently, why don't you actually do some of them? Because this is saying inactivity almost, which is funny because for the majority of the spread, there's almost no inactivity. There is a lot of activity. There's a lot of fucking activity going on in this spread. So, first of all, I'm going to kind of combine everything in the story of why I think that you're struggling. I think you take on too damn much all the fucking goddamn time, and I think that you don't understand how to moderate things. I think that you're taking on all these anxieties, and it's giving you anxiety because you're taking on all these things at once, all these jobs, all these relationships, all these passionate, quick things over and over and over and over, and you don't know where you're going, and you have all these ideas, but you're always constantly doing something new, and you're struggling with this because, first of all, this is something that has to deal with your anxieties about this, it's, oh my god, I know what this is. Okay, so, this resonates with me, actually, which is why I'm going to say this. I think that it is having I'm hearing this so very, very specifically. I think it's having a very specific mindset about something, about your own mental well-being, that I am this thing, I do this, I have really shitty relationships with people, I am this way, I am a bad person, I am doing this thing wrong, I don't know how to face my fears. Every time I have a relationship or a new foundation, it just kind of goes awry. Like, it never stays. I'm always on the constant search for something. Manifest, happiness. I'm always looking for something else. I don't know how to get around it, but I'm struggling with it. I am aware of this. I am aware that I'm going out on all these things and I take all these new things on at once and I don't know how to stop it, because what ends up happening is you pursue these things and they get pushed over, and then you have new beginnings and those get pushed over because you're always constantly bored. And here's the thing, I'm like this too. I always get constantly bored of people, of things. And if you're reading this right now, that's your storyline. I'm telling you right now that that's not your fault. You're not at fault for feeling these things because you are a human and you are not wrong for feeling these. If you're beating yourself down right now, which I fucking know that you are, if you're beating yourself down right now, stop it, because the reason, oh god, this is probably my spread too. Holy shit, it is. Oh god. This doesn't happen to me often. This is for me as well. So that's why it's resonating. But the reason is why you shouldn't be so hard on yourself is because you are human. And here's the thing with this. You have a decision. You have decisions and choices to make. It's not that you are actively trying to do these things and, see new people and have new relationships and they just get convoluted and it becomes too much and you can't handle it. You are not a bad person for having these things that you are actively aware of and you are actively trying to get help on, because I do think that's what's happening. I think that you are very aware of it, and I think that you are struggling with this because you don't know. You feel innately wrong for feeling these things. You are a human being. Nobody is going to be able to tell you except yourself. These are subjective things that you feel as a human. And okay, short story time. This is relevant. I had an acid trip. No, it was mushrooms. I took mushrooms over the summer. I had the same problem, and I was crying about it in a room alone, and I was crying about it, and I was definitely connected to what I believe is spirit, but I heard a voice that was connected to all things, and I was asking it, like, okay, I have these problems I'd like to talk to you about, because I guess I'm hearing things now, but I was talking to this voice that I believed to be was a guide, and they basically said, listen, like, you're looking at this in the wrong light. We don't view anything. First of all, if you think that you're a bad person for doing this and for what you want is to be passionate and you constantly love filling your lives with people, yeah, that might not be the healthiest thing to have in a human life because you can get codependent. But also, you're not like Hitler. You're not like somebody that's shitty. It's saying, first of all, here's the thing. We don't even view. The universe doesn't even view us as, there's no association, there's no positive or negative, it just is. So they specifically told me as a really in your face, like, here's like a dose of reality. We don't view the Holocaust as wrong. We don't view the Holocaust as, obviously, to us, it is. But the universe just views it as a thing that happens. That was not an anti-Semitic thing. I'm Jewish. Please don't take it that way. It is literally just saying that these terrible things that humans deem the worst of people, we don't see it like that. It's just something that happens. It's just a moment of time. It just happened. There's too much going on everywhere else for us to think that there are things that are good or subjectively bad. They just kind of are. And when that it was paired with, it wasn't just like, that's it. It's saying, hey, these things that you are doing that you think are bad, first of all, in hindsight 2020, they're not. And if that's what you want to do with your life, and as long as you are not hurting people because that is what you care about, you don't want to hurt other people. If you are not hurting other people and you're able to do this in a way where you make your boundaries clear with, hey, this is the way that I am in relationships, this is the way that I work. If you are very honest and open about things with people and you give people an opportunity to build with you so they are aware of these things and it ends up happening, that doesn't mean that you're a shitty person. It means that you have set out your boundaries and you're trying to come through them. This is your human life. Please don't feel bad for feeling this way, because when we do, I know I can feel your pain. I can literally feel crying. I understand. I'm there too. This sucks. This really, really sucks. It sucks to lose interest in the things that you love like that, and then something else comes and you feel so bad. Relationships, that's why I don't have monogamous relationships anymore, is because they all came in at once, and I was like, what if I want somebody else? What if I want this? What if I want to jump around and do this? I am a person that is so quick to everything, and I love to take on new things all at once, and I also have really large mental trauma. The combination is sticky, and it makes things hard. It does not make me wrong for feeling these things, because I feel these things, and I feel like, oh my god, I'm using people. That doesn't mean that you are. If you go about this in the right way and you explain what you're feeling, what you're going through, that is not your fault. That, first of all, it's not only your fault, but I don't want to say it's your responsibility to better yourself if you feel the need to. But if you are okay doing this, and as long as it's not hurting anybody else, who the fuck cares? Like, if you are doing this, the problem is that I think that you are always chasing this manifest happiness for what is the solution to this? Just be you. That is the solution to this. And there's a lot of, the reason why that sucks is because it's one of the things that comes with the territory, is there might not be a lot of stability there. And it's not necessarily, here's the thing, the people in your life that are meant to be with you through this will be there. And it's not, I've had so many people in my life that come and go. But I've also had people that stay. And I also have people that have left, that come back and then stay for the rest of the time. And well, I'm still living, so we'll see. But it's saying that, very, very, very simply put, it is your human life. You get to have this experience. It does not make you wrong for feeling these things that others might deem you for. Like, oh, you're such a shitty person because you can't keep attention on blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, why are you putting these, like, limitations on me, on who I can love and what I can do, of what jobs I should have, of what path I should take, of how long I should be doing it, of where I should focus my energy, how much I focus my energy into that, because it's probably a lot. You are not a bad person for any of this. You're not a bad person to feel the things that you want to feel, and I keep repeating this because I'm going to hammer this into your head by this reading, I swear to God. This is specifically for the people that are struggling with feeling that way. You are human. You know, this is going to be a thing that you continue with your life, and you will be a lot happier if you can realize what you feel, and that it's okay to feel that way because you're a human. As long as you're not hurting other people on purpose, then it becomes a problem. But you're not doing this to hurt people. You're doing this because you're not doing anything to hurt anybody on purpose. It's happening because you have this uncontrolled passion and you don't know what to do with it. That doesn't make you wrong. It makes you human. So, as you know, continue to work on yourself as need be. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, continue doing what you're doing. Just live your life. But that's also what this means. That's also what this means. That's really what this means. Okay, so we have storm. We have clouds. There's a situation brewing. There's something going on. You get the sense that something's always wrong on the horizon with the storm. We got the fucking sun that came out afterwards, which is literally directly saying your sun will come out again. Literally. Because there's an offer of an invitation here with a letter. It's something that brings you joy. It's communication. Literally, in the tarot perspective, this is like getting the tower and then getting the sun. Something shitty has to happen in order for you to experience the happiness. So all these things that you're experiencing right now, the message is, oh, first of all, it's going to get better. You're not going to feel like this forever. Also, I think that a large majority of you needed to hear that message from somebody else that goes through it, saying, listen, you're not a bad person for being a certain way if you're not actively trying to hurt people and you put your boundaries down. I'm going to keep repeating that again. Also, that's kind of what the Queen of Wands is. The Queen of Wands, as the Yoshitaka Mano advice card for the overall advice of what you need to know, is that right now, if you think that you're having a problem with this, first of all, when I said earlier that if you continue with this your whole life, and that's fine, that is true, that is fine. However, the whole thing here is about growth, that we always want to be expanding. So I'm not saying to stop doing the things that make you feel this happy, but maybe do some soul searching on what you can do to be more stable and more passionate, but holding things more, not responsibly, but holding more things responsibly to you. Something that you would look at and be like, okay, I need to make some tweaks on the way that I do things. I need to incorporate some balance here, and I guess tweak a little things, and like, bam, I'm a fucking queen. Well, this isn't a gender bender deck, but I'm gonna read it. This is for a woman or a male. This is yourself. This is saying, first of all, you have so much stability in yourself that I think people are telling you false things about yourself that you're believing. Because honestly, this isn't just something that that just happens. Usually somebody calls you out on it and says, you're a shit person for doing this. When honestly, no, you're not. No, you're not. All you need to do for you is to have a little bit more stability over your domain. The leader, the emperor, finding out what he needs. The Queen of Wands is a very passionate woman. And the thing is, it doesn't go from the Knight of Wands to just, okay, that's where I level off. This is the best. No, it gets stronger from here. It's saying you're having a lot of problems right now managing this. It's going to get better. It is going to get better, and you can find that advice, first of all, within inside of yourself, but you already know the answer. Once you have the answer of, I'm not a bad person, I am allowed to feel these human things and not subject myself to the pain and the fears that come with this, because I know what this brings. I know what this lifetime brings. I know what this path is. I know that I'm going to get bored, and that's going to be okay, because it's always going to be moving. And as long as you're not trying to hurt people on purpose and you let them be aware of that, these people will stay in your life if you're honest with them. That is how that works. So maybe try being, I'm hearing for some of you, to try being a lot more vocal about yourself. And the painful thing about this is when you tell people things that are scary, first of all, for you to accept in yourself, they're scary to accept in other people. So, for example, maybe a new love interest has come in, and they are, and you want to tell them, oh my God, my head does this to me, and when I become in a stable, committed relationship, it breaks down, my brain tries to self-sabotage it. If that's what happens, and you explain that to the person, and they are fully aware of that, I'm not saying, okay, well, yeah, it's okay to go do this thing, because that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that if you are honest and open about your communications and your feelings with the people in your life that you're going to be trusting with these things, to be more open and honest, yeah, you're going to get some people that don't want that. And that's okay, because you will find out right off the bat, maybe we're not the best fit. That's okay, because you just immediately got rid of the possibility for that going wrong. You just 100% took the possibility of, I'm going to date this person for 3 years and find out 3 years in that this isn't something that they can do. Tell them first. They will tell you the truth, and if it turns out that they can't, then you're like, well, you said this thing, and that's not on me. That's not on me. I'm trying to work on myself. That's not on me. The Queen of Wands, you will build yourself into the person that you are supposed to be, and you will have help with it as well. You have your own guidance. First of all, the Knight is always traveling to something, and you're way too fiery to just stop at where you are. It's an ebb and flow. Honestly, this type of energy is always an ebb and flow. It will always come. It will always go. It will always be this moment of when you get into the relationships and get into these stable things that require commitment in a job, in anything, in owning something, a house, renting something, having roommates. It doesn't matter. This stability scares you a little bit because you're so used to boom, 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 boom. You are your own fucking human. You get to figure out, you have your whole goddamn life ahead of you to figure out what it is that works for you and what doesn't. Be open, be honest about your communications, be vocal with other people so they know who you are, so you don't waste your time and they don't waste, so you don't waste their time and they don't waste yours. So it's on an equal playing field. Because by telling people this truth, you're going to 100% get people in your life that are more adept at not tolerating it, but understanding how to work with you if you tell them directly what you need. And that, I think it's just a matter of stepping into that throne. You're already a queen, honey. You are already a queen, but you're making yourself believe that you're not. And that's just not true. You are a human. You have feelings that are subjective to you alone that nobody else might be able to feel. And, well, if your proof is that you didn't think anybody else was feeling these things and I am, then that is your message that you're not alone in dealing with this really, really gross, anxious feeling of when's it going to end. And as long as you continue working on it, everything does, and everything changes. Everything, there's always new beginnings. There's always endings. Take life in that vein. Everything is an ebb and a flow. You're not a bad person for feeling these things. The universe doesn't look at you poorly. You're not going to hell for these things. I love you so much, honestly. Of all the groups that I did, this hit me the most. Because I can feel the pain. I can feel the pain, and I want to cry because I feel the pain. And I swear to God, I know what you're going through. I really do. Very, very heavy. You're not a bad person. I love you very much. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.